I scrolled way back on CrossFit.com, all the way back to the beginning, and stumbled on some very interesting workouts and some other things I had never seen before. This got me thinking about what CrossFit was like in the early days. After some more digging on old CrossFit content, oh boy did I find some interesting stuff. Throughout its lifetime, CrossFit has been responsible for iconic viral videos, weird workouts, and more. At times, some things even got a little bit out of hand. These are some of the things that made the early days of CrossFit so interesting. This one is my personal favorite, but it's extremely nerdy, so prepare yourself. This is a workout posted on CrossFit.com on February 9th, 2004, one of the first times a wall ball had ever been programmed. In the notes of this workout, it says, the standard for one wall ball rep is 56 foot-pounds of work. Now, for those of you who don't know exactly what this means at first glance, here it is. A foot-pound of work is 1 pound of weight moved 1 foot. So, according to this standard, you can throw a 56-pound wall ball to a 1 foot target above your standing reach because 56 pounds moved 1 foot is 56 foot-pounds of work. But it also means you could throw a 28-pound ball to a 2 foot target, which is what they say they did in the description of this workout. Or you could throw a 7-pound ball to an 8 foot target, or my personal favorite, you could throw a half-pound ball to a 112 foot target, which might look something like this. This standard for a wall ball is unnecessarily complex, and in reality, my 112 foot wall ball is not the same stimulus as a 28-pound ball thrown to a 2 foot target. The standard we use now, which is throwing a set weight wall ball to a certain height, is great, and I'm glad that's what we settled on. But I absolutely love this because it really just shows how nerdy CrossFitters truly are and how far CrossFit has come. In 2004, when this was posted, people were doing CrossFit in parks, at bodybuilding style gyms, and in their garages. CrossFit.com probably had this option for different weight medicine balls because lots of people likely had very limited access to this type of equipment. Now, thanks to CrossFit, you can walk into just about any gym in the world, CrossFit or not, and find a wide array of medicine balls and weights. And now you don't have to worry about calculating the foot-pounds of each one of your wall ball reps. This next one I'm gonna feel a little rude for talking about, but I just have to. This is a couple getting married at the 2016 CrossFit Games. Just let that sentence sink in for a moment. This is a couple getting married at the 2016 CrossFit Games. Reebok made a video of the wedding and posted it to their YouTube, and I watched it so that you don't have to. But because I don't want to suffer alone, here's a little summary. Now, before I get into the many cringe-inducing moments of this video, I want to give props to a few of the cool parts of this CrossFit Games themed wedding. The first is what appears to be the father of the bride and how cool he looks in his CrossFit gear. I just love seeing old people get super into CrossFit. And not only does he look great, but he is clearly very supportive of his daughter getting married at the CrossFit Games, which, as we know, is every little girl's dream. And although it's kind of a bit weird, the Reebok sign made entirely out of roses, in my opinion, is actually really cool. But now let me quickly point out the cringeworthy things in this video. The first is at the beginning of the video, the groom is preparing to go out for the wedding, and the videographer asks him who he thinks is going to win the CrossFit Games this year. The groom says something along the lines of, "I'm winning because I'm marrying her."
We're in Carson, California, Reebok CrossFit Games 2016. Hanging out with the fittest people in the world.
Who's gonna win?
Who's gonna win? I won. I won because I get to marry the woman of my dreams in the middle of the Startup Center.
Now, I'm not sure what the whole goal of Reebok making this video was, but this whole interaction at the beginning felt like I was looking at a bad car crash and just couldn't look away. Now, the second thing is Dave Castro, the director of the CrossFit Games, who officiates this wedding in his infamously terrible cornrows, which, to be honest, I don't want to comment any further on. The third thing is the box jump that they did on their way out of the stadium after getting married, which is a completely cringy move. And the fourth is just having a CrossFit Games themed wedding in general. Between the setting, the attire, the vows, which I don't want to talk about, and Dave Castro's cornrows, this whole thing feels like something out of a parody video. Here's the infamous moment of Jason Khalipa's attempted murder of the cameraman during the first event at the 2010 CrossFit Games. But this moment is even more funny than it appears at first. Let me show you. To start, this is the event. It is known as Amanda. It goes 4-time, 9, 7, and then 5 ring muscle ups and squat snatches at 135 pounds. Jason Khalipa finishes his last set of 5 ring muscle ups at about 4 minutes and 24 seconds. All he has left is 5 squat snatches at 135 pounds, and then he's done with the event. He drops off the rings and runs over to his bar. He quickly hits 2 squat snatches. Just 3 more and he's done. Oh, all right, get up, just 1 miss, no big deal. Okay, that one was sloppy, but he got it done.
The camera angle changes and you can still see Khalipa in the back, and he misses another one. And another one. And one more. Okay, now that he's all the way across the stadium floor from where he started, he only has one more rep. Muster up all your strength and accuracy and hit this last rep. And he misses it behind him. And then another one forward. This is hilarious. Not only is the short clip of him almost killing the cameraman funny, but it's even funnier when you consider the fact that he missed like 7 snatches before that happened, all while trying to finish a set of just 5. Part of what makes this video feel so chaotic is that there's no floor layout. It's just a rig in the middle of the stadium. There's no lanes or visual progression through the workout like there is in CrossFit events now. In fact, the only progress that was happening was Jason Khalipa getting closer and closer to the cameraman. Back when this happened, if this was my first impression of CrossFit, I probably would have been completely turned off to it. But in hindsight, it's not so bad. If this same event was programmed at the CrossFit Games today, no athletes would miss a single snatch, let alone run down a cameraman. But what ties the whole thing together for me and highlights the beauty of CrossFit is that in 2019 at the Rogue Invitational, they had what they called the Legends category. This was for the early competitors in CrossFit, the pioneers of the sport that brought eyes to CrossFit from the very beginning. And Rogue used this as an opportunity to celebrate and showcase not only the older athletes, but the evolution of CrossFit as a whole. And beautifully, the Rogue Invitational had these legends do Amanda together in 2019, and it did not disappoint. In 2010, the winning time on Amanda was Chris Spieler in 3 minutes and 29 seconds. Some other notable times from 2010 were Rich Froning at 3:47 and Jason Khalipa, who finally finished his last snatch at 6:01. In 2019 at the Rogue Invitational, these guys went fast. Rich Froning won at 2 minutes and 52 seconds. Chris Spieler also beat his previous time, taking a 3:04, and Jason Khalipa finished in 3 minutes and 8 seconds and had no misses in the process. It's more impressive to see these times considering that these geezers were almost a full decade older than when they first did this event in 2010. What I love about this is it shows the measurability of CrossFit. Seeing these athletes get fitter compared to themselves is a representation of what CrossFit is really about. Yes, the video of Jason Khalipa trying to squat snatch 135 pounds, forgetting which sport he's competing in, and shot putting his bar at the cameraman is funny, but it also just shows how far things have really come. In the beginning, we had weird, overly complicated wall ball standards, whatever the heck this was, and an absolutely cringe-worthy wedding video at the CrossFit Games, which kind of made me want to quit CrossFit altogether. And these are just 3 examples. There are tons and tons more. But all of this just adds to the personality of CrossFit and shows just how much it really has progressed. Also, I put the link to the wedding video in the description of this video if you're brave enough to go watch the whole thing.